I did a 23andMe ancestry DNA test, and I got the results yesterday.
And he's part Sasquatch.
No, it says I'm 86%.
I don't know why you're admitting to this
I'm embarrassed by it.
On our national podcast to all 3 subscribers.
Okay, so first of all, it says I have more DNA to the Neanderthal than 86% more of the customers.
Welcome back to an all-new episode of Our Haunted Honeymoon, where we discuss the mystery, the macabre, and sometimes messy.
And they're always messy.
Sometimes.
We haven't ever filmed anything that isn't messy.
You're right about that.
So are you guys ready to solve some mysteries?
Are we going to solve it, though?
Oh, yeah, we're going to solve it. We have to solve something.
All right, you know what? Let's solve today's mystery. How about that?
So what is today's mystery?
We're going to talk about Sasquatch.
What?
Or Bigfoot.
Sasquatch.
Which one?
Sasquatch.
But that one?
That's the one.
What's the difference?
It's the same thing. It's kind of like there's Aaron and then there's Henry.
I don't bring my personal life into this. I didn't sign up for this kind of thing. First of all,
your first name. So just like my husband Aaron / Henry, Sasquatch also goes by another name.
Yeah, Sasquatch Bigfoot Ferrara. Should we name that our first child?
Bigfoot?
No, Bigfoot Sasquatch Ferrara.
I like it.
The 2-name thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are they going to do when they get caught at school? Teacher will be like, can I have Bigfoot? I mean, they're going to raise their hand. They'll be like, it's Sasquatch.
Why does our kid sound like such a dweeb?
Well, I think we would have a dweeb.
Yeah?
We're not going to get like the cool kid. We're not going to get the sports kid.
Yeah, we are going to get the sports kids because you always get the opposite and you're like, damn it. Now I have to spend my days going to these goddamn football games.
Yeah.
Right?
We would get that kid.
Oh, God.
Anyways, we're going to dive into Sasquatch and like the whole mystery about it. And we're going to see if we can determine by the end of this video if we think that he exists or not. Because honestly, going into this video, I'm pretty 50-50.
Yeah, and we have a little bit of history with our own Sasquatch and Bigfoot kind of thing.
Like what? Do we have a run-in with one I don't know about?
No, I mean...
What's the history we have with Sasquatch?
Not a history, I guess. I guess I kind of worded that wrong. I'm talking about we have our own experience.
Like what?
Well, let's start from the beginning. We grew up in LA, California, Long Beach, San Pedro, just very city. We're city guys. And about 6 years ago, we decided to pack up all of our stuff and have a new life and start a new beginning in a new state. And when we moved to the Pacific Northwest, Oregon and Washington area...
Blindly, by the way. Like, we had never stepped foot in the entire state of Oregon, and we decided to uproot ourselves and move. I was almost at a cross country. It's literally just the next state up.
I mean, it might have been all the way across country anyway.
It might as well have been.
Right? That's what it felt like. It was just so new. We didn't know what nature was. Like, we didn't go on hikes.
We didn't know what nature was.
We did not know anything about camping or anything like that. Like,
we're not camping people. We're not even glamping people.
I think the tallest tree we ever saw in our life was like a 6-foot Christmas tree.
That's a good size.
Right? Oh, and palm trees. We're also known for our palm trees.
I hate palm trees too.
Really?
I don't know what it is about a palm tree. It just makes me so depressed.
Because you grew up with them?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's pretty depressing.
Anyways, so it's easy to have to live in a major city, and I mean major cities across the world, and think about the concept of Bigfoot / Sasquatch and think there's no possible way that no one caught this dude on video, no one spotted him on the road, no one took a picture that wasn't fuzzy. Like, it's easy to be like, to have that mindset. It's a whole nother experience to live in the Pacific Northwest, in these small towns, or like even in just like Portland, and just know that there's these vast forests. A lot of them, like you're on the freeway driving around them, and you just know that there's something could be out there.
Well, there's so much territory over there. That's, I think, classified as Sasquatch territory, is the whole Pacific Northwest and Canada, right?
Yeah, they actually are. It's the Pacific Northwest, so it starts off in Northern California and works its way up to the west of Canada.
Oh, yeah. Every book is usually showing you on a map, that's the creature of that area. The main creature, like how Ireland has their Loch Ness Monster and things like that. Sasquatch is known to be in those parts.
And so, like, in the Himalayas have their counterpart, which is the abominable snowman.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's just like the Christmas version of Bigfoot. What is he? Extra Bigfoot? Small foot?
So we added another name?
Abominable.
Abominable. Abominable.
Abominable.
I like that.
Abominable.
I like that. That sounds good.
Am I saying it weird?
Yeah, no, it's abominable. Yeah, you're saying it right.
It sounds like you're saying Obama.
No, I never said that. You're making words.
Abominable.
No, I never said that.
So then there's the counterpart. So it's like I said, I'm pretty 50-50, but I have an open mind, and we did some digging, we did some research, and let's just see what's out there and see. Let's determine as a group, all of us, and determine whether or not we believe in Sasquatch.
Okay, well, first off the bat, I'm probably gonna take the role of a little more of the skeptic, because I haven't done a lot of research.
Skeptic or just a bitch? What? I just know you're gonna be there and be like, no. Push up your glasses. Who's the dweeb now?
I'm not wearing my glasses, so
why aren't you wearing your glasses? Cost me $300.
You $300. And last time I checked, both our names were on the credit card. Same exact number, sequence of numbers. I know them by heart.
Last time?
5700
You know my credit card's
851. I paid that damn bill last time, actually. It was pretty run up. And I remember, what's kind of funny too? When you look at the bill, it says what card number it is. Even though they have the same number, it says what name. So all of a sudden I'll see Jonathan, Starbucks, Jonathan, Starbucks, Jonathan, Starbucks.
I feel
Jonathan,
attacked. Can we get on with the
You're just
show?
mad. No, you're just mad about your 23andMe results saying that you were part Sasquatch last night.
Okay, so that's so
I'm gonna
crazy
get into
because
that.
it's in my notes. So actually, let's just jump right into there.
Oh, that's really cool. Oh, I think you know where you're going with this. And let's not jump into that.
So,
that's like a good point to talk about later.
Okay,
let's
so we'll bring that back up. Remember that, you guys. I did a 23andMe ancestry DNA test, and I got the results yesterday.
And he's part Sasquatch.
No, it says I'm 86%.
I don't know why you're admitting to this
I'm embarrassed by it.
On our national podcast to all 3 subscribers.
Okay, so first of all, it says that I'm 86% more likely, or have more DNA. Wait, no. I have more DNA to the Neanderthal than 86% more of the customers. But accounts for like less than 2% of my overall DNA.
I mean, that's cool. Yeah, because it's less than 2% of your DNA.
Whatever, it's embarrassing. And I don't know why I would be a Neanderthal. Because, like, I couldn't be less Neanderthal-like. Like, I'm not hairy. I'm gay.
There wasn't gay Neanderthal? We've been around since the beginning of time.
Maybe that's why the Neanderthals died. They were all gay.
No, those are the Homo sapiens.
Oh, okay. Yes.
That's why they're called Homo.
I mean, I get mistaken for a woman every time I order something through a drive-thru. Like, what Neanderthal is going to be like, have a lisp?
I mean, you're talking, 5 million generations ago? You could have evolved.
But my DNA says something otherwise.
Well, it's shrunk to like 2% now, so you're welcome.
Thanks.
Thanks,
and I don't like the sports. And I feel like Neanderthals would be very sport-like.
You don't know that, though.
They could throw a ball.
They invented the ball.
They could hunt, too. I don't even eat meat. I'm a vegetarian. Like, I couldn't be more un-Neanderthal.
Well, maybe you should connect more to your Sasquatch roots.
Anyway, so Soviet scientist Boris... my writing's so bad I can't pronounce his last name. What is it? What is that? An O or an A? Barshanov?
Parshanov, it looks like. Is that an L?
Well, he suggested, I don't know, he suggested that Sasquatch and his Siberian counterpart could be remnants of a Neanderthal.
That is an awesome... Okay, that I can get on board with.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there could be some scientific facts. Like, there's like...
Like a tribe that never came out of... Oh, kind of like that that island that you were listening to on that TikTok the other day, the Sentinel. Was it Sentinel Island around Indonesia?
The one that's in... And it's like...
Was it Indonesia?
I don't know if it's it's run by the Indian government now.
Oh, okay.
But like, there technically would be considered Indian.
Okay.
But
they were all the way, like, they're basically, you can't touch that island. There's a 3-mile gap where the government won't let you cross because they've been so cut off from time that any kind of, like, disease they would get would kill them, wipe them out and stuff. So they're basically a time capsule, right, of that ancient one of the civilizations. So that could be the same thing. They could be in there. Is that what you're saying? That's
a true story. So, like, let's think about it, Sasquatch as, like, that. Like, there's a possibility that there could be a lost civilization that we don't know about. And really take the mindset, you guys, of, like if you're in your apartment, you're driving to work right now listening to us, and you're stuck in traffic. Yeah, like, looking out at where your current surroundings, thinking of a Sasquatch in existence is very far-fetched. But like I said, it's an entirely different experience when you're driving through a vast forest, or you're hiking in the middle of the woods, you don't got reception, and like there's not a Starbucks nearby, like, like there's something could be out there.
Well, that's the scariest part to me, is the non-communication. Like, when we went on a hike, when our cousin Lisa came over about 2 weeks ago, and we went on a hike that was very remote, because I think we were about 20 minutes into the drive, and it was an hour drive almost?
It was 45 minutes.
So, like, we were, 20 minutes into the drive, and we already had lost reception. So we had to drive even further just to get to the head of the trail. And this wasn't, like, a long hike. It was about only a couple miles that we actually went on a hike. But if you really think about it, we're not in an area where there are these kind of hikes that can go on for, like, so many miles. But when we were in Oregon, there were so many hikes that had trails that were extensive, and they did end at a certain point, though. And when you're talking about something like 6 miles or 15 miles, it sounds like it is a lot. There's also so much uncharted territory when you think about it. So if you're thinking about how much further that you can go in that hike, it's endless, it feels like.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, standing at out on a beach and looking out into the ocean, and you seeing it going on forever. Those are what some of the forests look like. But anyways, before we move on from the Neanderthals, there's actually a cool thing too, that they North Americans first. It's believed that the first North Americans that first inhabited North America were believed to have been ancient Asiatic.
I don't know what that word is.
Well, whatever. People who migrated from Siberia to North America sometime during the last glacial advance. So, if you really think that there's a counterpart to Bigfoot on that side of the world, and how the human ancestry went through that way, what makes us think that the Bigfoot ancestry or the Neanderthal didn't do the same thing?
Yeah.
That's why there would be a Sasquatch in North America, and there would be the abominable snowman
right
over there in Asia.
Well, yeah, you just think these people, like, must have isolated themselves. These people. These Sasquatch people must have isolated themselves and found a way to survive out there in those remote areas. And but here's what I don't understand. Why... I feel like we should have made some sort of discovery. And I know that it's really hard to say that because, they could be so deep into that forest that they could never come out. But, there's the part of me that's like, why haven't we seen, like, what if, like, there's a neglectful Sasquatch parent and they're, like, taking their kid out on a walk or something, and all of a sudden they let them free for a second.
Well, maybe Sasquatches are better parents than most of us human parents. I don't know. Or maybe the population is enough. I don't know if there's a DHS service for Sasquatches.
I kind of doubt that.
But like, so let's see, where do I have? Well, I got a whole bunch of notes. So Sasquatch was named Bigfoot. The name Bigfoot actually comes from there was a discovery of a big footprint in a small town in northern California. It was by Ray Wallace. He was said to have discovered the first Bigfoot track back in 1958. It's near Bluff Creek in northern California. Oh, okay. So that's, I guess, like, there's a small town. I think it was Hubbard newspaper, something around there. But they posted about, they called it Bigfoot. And that's where Sasquatch got its name, Bigfoot. But, however, so we can do both sides of the coin. So you have these people that it was even published in a newspaper that there's this massive footprint, right? That's evidence that there's this animal, hominoid figure, whatever you want to call it, existed. However, in 2002, the children of the person who found that footprint, Ray Wallace's children, when he died in 2002, his children came out and said it was a prank.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so that sucks, right?
Yeah.
But, like, here's the thing. I want to believe in Bigfoot. I think that's awesome. If we found out that Bigfoot, Sasquatches existed or truly exist, that's awesome, right? Like, that's crazy. That's so cool.
I mean, scary, but
yeah. So anyways, you got to think about, like, okay, so the kids of this guy who took this photo and who found this print in 1958, they're coming out decades later and saying it was a joke. After their dad died, it's still possible that those kids didn't want to hear anything about it, probably were teased growing up, they probably wanted nothing to do with that footprint, and they could have easily just said it was a prank when even the guy who supposedly did the prank didn't say he was a prank.
I mean, I that's true. That's all true. I might do that too if I didn't want, like, I'm sick and tired of people following me around and taking pictures like paparazzi lately.
You
like,
don't got one person following you around.
I got you. I'd follow you anyway.
So, but okay, in 1967, Roger Patterson and Bob Gremlin filmed a few seconds of a hairy creature walking on two legs by the same Bluff Creek.
Bob Gremlin?
So, yeah, Bob Gremlin.
We're taking advice from a gremlin?
From a guy named Bob Gremlin.
Gremlin, though.
Yeah, Bob.
I don't know if I trust that source.
Why?
Because it says gremlin. Is a gremlin talking about a Bigfoot? What do you?
Well, I got the footage. So we got the footage. So we're gonna both watch this video and see what we believe. Like, do we think this is real or not?
Okay, what am I? How do you search this? It's 10 seconds. Here. It's Bigfoot by Patterson Gimlin. Okay, look that. It's Gimlin.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. Gimlin.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
That's it. He got a big butt. Doesn't he?
Yeah, maybe you guys are related. Maybe that's...
What do you mean?
I'm Bob Gimlin.
There he is!
That's Bob!
Oh, Bob!
Patterson up.
Oh, what happened?
Okay. We watched the clip.
What do you think about that clip? Like...
That was from 1967?
That's what my notes read, yes.
Okay. What do you think about that clip?
It kind of looks fake.
Yeah, like someone in a suit.
Yeah. The fur looks weird to me.
The way he walked, too, he kind of had a little swagger. He kind of had like a model walk, like a runway walk. And that's not... that. I feel like it would be a little more primitive. He was walking like he was walking down the street to the stock exchange or something.
The stock exchange?
Didn't he look like with his little briefcase?
He did.
Come on, right?
He did. He's definitely going to hit up Wall Street after this.
I'm sorry, Gimlin. I'm sorry.
I don't know. It was kind of hard to believe. I'm not going to lie. It was kind of a weird... He kind of looked like an ape. But like just very little not an ape. And when I think of Bigfoot, like, in my head, in my imagination, he's ape-like, but I would say like more like humanoid.
Yeah, very distinct. Yeah, and I don't know. It kind of seems like the scene, like in Scooby Doo, where you're like, you catch him and you take off the mask, right? Yeah. And there's a person in there.
That definitely was what it felt like. I mean, so
I think we solved it.
Well, who knows?
We solved it. We're done.
No,
that's it.
No.
It's actually things like this that get me kind of pissed off because it's like now it takes away from what if there is, you know, like
I mean,
people that fake like the alien invasions and stuff. It's like, come on,
who fakes an alien invasion?
There's people out there that do like fake alien videos and things
It's
like that.
not like an alien invasion, though. It's like an alien sighting.
No,
an alien invasion would be like Independence Day.
Oh,
Will Smith.
Yeah.
That's an alien invasion.
No, but I mean,
War of the Worlds.
Okay, but like saying like they got invaded.
No, they got abducted.
Abducted. Oh, that's the word I was looking
What is wrong with you?
That's the word I was looking for.
So, anyways, Bigfoot is said to be on average 8 feet tall, but could be anywhere from 6 to 15 feet. 15 feet tall.
Oh, whoa.
15.
That's a house.
I was going to say, we have a 2-story house. How, like...
Well, 2 stories is 20 feet, isn't it? Isn't a story like 10 feet?
I don't know. I didn't know there was an approximity, or not proximity, like approximate.
I'm not spitting facts. I'm guessing. I've heard 10 feet and 20 feet is like 2 stories kind of.
Whatever. 15 feet is tall. So what is that?
Tall.
Like, what are you? You're 5'7"?
Excuse me.
Yeah, you're 5'7".
I'm 5'7" 3/4.
Okay, he's 5'7" 3/4.
Thank you.
But his driver's license says something completely different. If
Yeah,
you
my driver's license says 5'8" and I'm 140 pounds.
The lie detector detected.
What?
That was a lie.
Maury?
Animal Planet had an 11-episode series called Finding Bigfoot. But believe it or not, they didn't.
You know what? I believe that.
There's also like this, I think it was actually on one of those episodes where someone was talking about like, why haven't we seen any corpses?
Oh.
Right? Why haven't we seen bones and all of that?
Yeah. Why haven't we?
I guess, and I'm no scientist, but, I did do some, Googling, and it said like, I guess on average, like animal waste deteriorates and it goes away within like 10 days.
How?
I don't know.
What? How is that? Oh, yeah,
So
you're
there's
no
that.
scientist. Sorry.
But I'm not. But then there also is like what the guy was saying is that like you don't find bear corpses.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Like no one like I mean
Oh.
I'm sure they exist. I'm guessing they exist, but I've never seen anyone like post like, "Oh, look, I found this bear corpse when I was on my hike."
Or a skull, or like a bear skull.
Right?
something
You don't
like
say
that.
you don't see that. So
Well, it's
why?
probably because they bury them right away.
The bears bury.
That's why they're called bears. Bury. They have like their
No.
burials where they
No,
have like.
it's because they only eat berries. That's why they're called bears.
Oh, well, I'm glad I learned that today.
Yeah, they only eat
Interesting.
berries.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that like and honey?
Oh yeah.
Berries and honey.
Where'd you learn that from? That's smart.
Yeah, maybe I am a scientist. There's tribes in like all of like California or Northern California, I should say, Washington, Oregon, that all talk about the Bigfoot. Like they have Bigfoot, Sasquatch in their legends. So you also have to take that into consideration too. Like this predates what's his name? Ray Wallace from finding that Bigfoot print. Like there's like this is like a mythology that stretches like centuries.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know. I mean, mythologies are great. The stories passed down. I mean, I'll believe that kind of story much more than anything in like some modern book or anything. You know?
But another conspiracy is like its relations to Mount Shasta. It's pretty crazy. Like when you're driving up like from LA to Portland, let's just say Portland, it's about a 15-hour drive. The first half driving up to like let's say Sacramento area is just desert and like the grapevines. It's pretty like there's really nothing to see. But once you pass Sacramento, Reddings, or Redlands, Reddings.
Yeah, Redding.
Redding.
Yeah.
It's all like forests, mountains, and it's really beautiful. And you pass Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta, I don't know about you, but every time we've done this drive a lot of times, and there's something about Mount Shasta that just seems really mystical and very like the unknown.
It is. It's one of the most beautiful drives, and we've driven across country when we did a couple little fun tours and stuff. But that is one of the most beautiful drives, driving from that Northern California area to Oregon or Washington. It's just so green, but it looks like one of those typical like magical forests. Though the trees are so big,
They're
so
huge.
big and so giant, and so they overtake everything. And there's every time, I don't know, like every time we pass through Mount Shasta specifically, it looks as though the mountains have a fog and a mist around them, and it's like some enchanted spring.
It is. It's very enchanting. That's like a really good word to describe it. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like you're not driving. It's still like far enough. It's like a good distance away, like where you aren't driving through the mountain, but like you're not exploring the mountain. Like it just seems like there's a lot of mystery there that you can't even see from where the freeway is. And
But here's what I think about too.
what do you think about, Aaron?
Well, about that whole thing, I always think, how many people are getting out of their cars and walking, miles and miles and endless miles into these mountains or into these hills, into these caves, into these forests. How many people are doing that? No one.
No one.
And because there's no road maps, there's endless spans of all this land, but there's no trails, there's none of this. So how many creatures are really out there? That's what gets me on board with the whole thing, because I'm like, they could have entire cities. If you think about those big cities like LA, New York City, any big city in Texas or something, or Chicago, and you think about how many of those can fit into the forests,
Oh, that's weird.
millions of people. That's dense forest. But imagine in that, they can have tribes out there that are just living off of the land that's there, never even having the willpower to move into us. They could be just as terrified of us as we are of them, just like aliens.
What's so funny about you talking about the cities is that like that one of the legends, or not one of the legends, there's many legends and conspiracies that actually tie Bigfoot to Mount Shasta, about how there's supposedly a city within Mount Shasta. Some say it's like, there's so many different conspiracies for it, but some I guess say that the survivors of Lemuria, that's the counterpart to Atlantis. Oh. When it went under, the survivors went to Mount Shasta.
Ooh.
And then there's a huge a city built of crystals down there. And some say that like the city is still running today. Some say that it's not anymore. It's just like an abandoned city. Wow. Some say that it's run by people. Some say it's run by mythical creatures such as Bigfoot. And I guess a lot of the tribes in the surrounding areas all know about this mystery, and they always say, don't go to the mountain, don't go to Mount Shasta, stay away from it. And how like figures have been seen, even UFO sightings. There's tons of UFO sightings around Mount Shasta, and
Probably trying to protect it, right?
Maybe.
From all that. I mean, it's a city of crystals. I just think there is rocks, like you see those all the time, like the rocks that, if you chip away at them enough, it'll be a crystal, right? Like it's underneath the dirt. Like you'll see a regular. Why are you looking at me like that? You're trying to get what I'm saying? Am I saying it wrong?
No, I'm trying to understand.
Am I speaking another language?
You might as well be.
God damn it. You know what I'm talking about? Like the rocks that look like rocks, but then like you turn it over and there's like beautiful crystal on the other side.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's what, like, I guess the city's made out of that.
That's what I'm thinking. Like a cave that's like just hollowed out with all crystal. That's what I see anyway.
Isn't like, I think in Mount Shasta too, it's because it's a volcano, right? I think one of the documentaries that I watched, like, I might be wrong. I gotta look more into it. But like, what happens is when lava is traveling under the ground, when it starts to cool, it creates like these tunnels. And there's tunnels like that in Mount Shasta, underneath Mount Shasta, that go on for miles upon miles.
That's really cool.
Like, where do they lead?
Where? There's a lot.
Like, there's so many ways for Sasquatch, if Sasquatch is real.
So how do we explore all of this? Like, who is going to take the time to explore and do all of these things? Because there's so much uncharted territory. You're right, just like the depths of the ocean. there's so much that's just untouched. And a big mystery to that. And it's crazy because I want them to find this out in our lifetime, but is there enough dedicated people that are doing this? We have space exploration, but...
Well, like, even in Washington, I guess you read this recently, that there was a retired sheriff of a town in Washington who believed so much in Sasquatch that he was convinced, didn't he? He was convinced that there was, like, one living behind his house in the forest,
right?
And he became like a detective for Sasquatches now, right? Something like that.
Yeah. They well, it's crazy because this all leads to the mystery surrounding unsolved disappearances in the area. So what they were saying in this article I was reading, I think it was a New York Post article, specifically about a certain disappearance about a boy, and it was saying that when the father went out to go seek help, he wasn't, really going too much to the authorities because the ones that were the most knowledgeable were the groups of Sasquatch explorers or hunters, because they knew the forest even more because of how much time they dedicate. I'm talking like 10, 12-hour days dedicated exploring. So, I mean, it does make sense that they would be more knowledgeable of that area and you would want to go to them because they obviously have more resources than the authorities would to spend that much time, on those missing cases.
But yeah, so like another thing is like with Sasquatches. Okay, so what has been reported for like with people that have experienced sightings or what do you call it? Like encounters, I guess, with Sasquatch is that they smell terrible. There's also like footprints, obviously.
Yeah.
And then there's like even like the way trees are snapped in the forest. It wouldn't like the way they're snapped is too clean. Oh. For it to be natural.
Weird.
Yeah, right?
Eerie. Yeah.
And so there's also like, I think on that documentary, we watched that documentary years ago, but there's also like, there's like, they work as a tribe or suspected to work as a tribe. Like they're able to like, they have people in like watchtowers, I guess you could say, or Sasquatches in like these watchtowers.
Yeah.
And isn't that crazy?
I mean, it sounds funny, but it makes sense. Like I can just imagine them with little
binoculars
or a telescope. Like, hey, Rick, you see that? See that little nerd with the glasses on?
How you gonna name him Rick?
I don't know. But, like, you can see that, right?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
But then if I was them for that many years that I've had in the forest and I was threatened like that, what's to say they wouldn't come up with some kind of system? Like, you can't dumb them down just because they're in the forest.
And think about, too, like, why would Sasquatches be scared of us? Well, there's many reasons, right? But,
I mean, just the way I wake up in the morning. Like,
let's go back to like so the most Sasquatch sightings were happening more when we all settled here, right, in the Pacific Northwest. And what were we doing around that time? We were tearing down forests. We were tearing down trees.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine? We were ruining their home. We were destroying their home. Right. So that must have been, or that just could have been, their first impression of humanity.
Wow.
One of the first impressions. So what would you do? Retreat back into the forest for sure, right?
Yep. Definitely.
Pretty interesting. There's also, before we go, there's another video. This one's audio though.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. There was another thing another characteristic that is huge with Sasquatch or Bigfoot, and it's their scream, right? Their blood curdling, like, Yeti kind of call.
So this clip is actually from History Channel.
Most animals vocalize for a couple of primary reasons. One is for mating.
But Gerhardt believes this actually isn't a mating call. It's a war cry.
Sounds like Godzilla.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so it eats anything, and they're saying in that clip about mushrooms. Like, I guess, like, that was where the audio was set, was in this, like, mushroom patch. And so that scream was an aggressive one to ward them off from its, like, food source.
Or he was just having a bad trip on some bad mushrooms.
Possibly.
I mean,
Or maybe he was just waking up and just really tired, had a long night, maybe from the mushrooms.
yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard that sound many a times.
But yeah, let's be honest. You're more the Sasquatch in the morning than I am.
Excuse me?
I'm like the Sasquatch at night.
I'm not hairy either.
You got a beard.
Bitch, that is
gruff.
Whatever.
There's no denying that there's like a lot of interest around Sasquatches. I remember more recently we went to Philadelphia to meet up with my cousin and her husband, who to me is a very level-headed guy, and like he would be the last person I would think would be into who would believe in Sasquatch. And I don't know how the topic got into Sasquatch, but he was talking up a storm, and he believes that there's Sasquatches out there.
Well, I could see why, though.
Why?
Because Tom is Bigfoot. He is a Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's like 6'4".
He's literally John. He's like 6'6". And his feet are like, what are they, like size 17?
I don't know, but he's probably like, there's others out there like me.
He's trying to hint. He wants them to be out there. He's like, finally, someone get off my back.
I'm looking for my long lost aunt.
Cute picture of Tom. It's actually really funny because when you put John's cousin Lisa next to Tom, she's what? The women in your family are notoriously
like 5'3", 5'4". I don't know.
5'3", no, 5'2", 5. I think your grandma was like 4'9".
No, well, right? I think in later years she was a 4'9".
Okay. And but it's so funny because I think Lisa, what is Lisa, like 5'2", 5'1"?
I don't know. You think I know all my family's height right off my mouth?
I do.
Okay, name your mom's.
5'9".
You're lying. She's not my height.
5'6".
You don't know. Are you taller than your mom?
Yeah, of course I'm taller than my mom.
Are you?
You just give me no credit. You always think I'm like 5'2".
Typical man tearing me down. Anyway, so what do you guys believe? Do you guys believe that Sasquatch is real and out there? Or do you believe it's all a little hocus pocus?
Well, we've been presented some great facts, I feel like, or some great topics of deeper thought. I would not have come up with those conclusions without that kind of stuff. Again, like
It's true. You know what I thought was the most interesting though?
What?
Was the when the scientists talked about the Neanderthals. Like that to me, I can see the connection in that. It's not just like some fuzzy, blurry picture taken of some wild animal. Like it's there, you see that and you're like, okay, obviously we know that Neanderthals existed, so is it possible that they migrated and maybe they evolved in a different way?
Yeah, and it's up to us to really solve that mystery. I mean, not us anymore because we're back in LA. We can't dedicate this time to go out there, but if anyone's out in the Pacific Northwest, I mean, we leave it up to you. It's up to you to really discover this possibility if they exist.
Well, who knows? Maybe this podcast as well. Maybe we can go up there and we can go camping and explore the wild unknown, and we can actually find Sasquatch.
I'm a little booked for the next 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Yeah. John, the thought of hiking or any of that stuff always freaks me out. I hate the unknown.
Me too, but like, we'll just have a team of people.
Okay, that I can get on board.
It could be like a team of gays, like fellow gays.
Okay, with weapons. Something to protect ourselves, because I'm scared.
I'm trying to think what weapons do gays carry? Pepper spray?
Frying pan.
Frying pan?
Uh-huh.
Hair straightener?
Yeah.
It's pretty
Something
stereotypical.
Like yeah, but it's true.
I mean, we have all those things.
Yeah, we have a pan. We do have a cooking pan.
Believe it or not.
Actually, though, like, that is scary, though. I don't know. There's something... I think it's the fear of the unknown. Like, if I were to be plopped in the middle of a forest, just snatched up and plopped in the middle of a forest without anything, I think that would be one of my greatest fears.
That or the middle of the ocean.
Oh, yeah, yes, definitely.
The ocean's far more terrifying, right?
They both are, though.
They are.
You just don't know where you are and what you're doing, and you're just like, it's that fear of endless nothing, and I don't know. It just freaks me out to think about that.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, definitely, I would say if before we moved to Oregon, I was probably, like, 10%, 20% believed in or was open to believing in Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Once we moved to Oregon, I would say I'm more inclined to be like a 70 or 80%.
Oh, wow. That's a huge jump.
Or 60 or 70, something around there. Like, I definitely believe it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because they have whole festivals and groups and everything dedicated to that sort of thing in the Pacific Northwest because and then there's even people that are just so nonchalant about it, like, oh yeah, that's just there's a Sasquatch family that lives in the backyard and stuff because it's just part of their nature. But it's kind of like I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, I just found this out like recently too, about the Savannah in Georgia, where it's like a coastal town that is just known for its ghosts and hauntings and ghosts just walking around freely because it has so much history and it's just probably like a suck of energy.
Yeah.
But I kind of relate it to that where it's just a known fact that, oh yeah, there was a ghost the other day, came in, did their shopping.
What did the ghost buy? A white sheet?
Yeah. They were on their daily Target run. Who knows? Yeah.
Not Target.
They had some good deals on some sheets.
They do. You go to a super Target too?
Yeah.
I wonder if Savannah has a super Target for ghosts.
We lived in Georgia for a little while.
There's no super targets. Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed the video and leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think. If you guys believe that there's Sasquatch out there in the world, if you can review us, that would be awesome. Do a homie a solid.
It does really help out just because we're just starting out with this, and any reviews or ratings that you leave on Apple Podcasts or Spotify greatly helps, boost our channel a little bit. And we enjoy doing this. It's really fun. It's fun to hang out with you guys and just have a conversation. It just doesn't feel like anything like work. It just feels like fun to us.
Yeah, it feels like we get to like spend time with each other and spend time with you guys. So come back and hang out with us. We post this on Spotify and on our YouTube channel, but Spotify gets it a day earlier.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a lot of fun. And also you can follow us on our new Instagram page. It's at Our Haunted Honeymoon. And we're on TikTok. Everything is Our Haunted Honeymoon if you want to search it and leave us a little note or anything. But we enjoyed having you, and I know we didn't really solve this mystery. Darn it. We didn't solve it for some reason. We usually solve them.
I know.
But we're going to have to put a little pin in this and come back to it. Maybe we'll come back when we have some more feedback.
Facts and research.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hope you have an awesome rest of the week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys. See you later.